Bishop Ayensu described the pronouncement by the National Democratic Congress NDC leader as backward and an attempt to sway voters. And then United Yokai or say you wouldn't even win power to repeal e-levy. Some people are expecting me to be so hard on this bishop. I'm not. And I'm never going to be hard on this man because I know his mental status. I'm an Obuasi boy. When I was in Obuasi, this guy was there. They may call Methodist, but I know most people in Methodist. And I know that this guy, if we are going to play his record at Methodist, rape cases in our womb. So why should I be so mad at such a psychopath? I don't have to. Time I mean who's our story and I laughed. I'm like, why are people angry? And then who say, I was watching Pampaso on last Saturday. It's not General Secretary Asedin Katiaka said he does not want to give attention to such people, and he gave examples of why he was this man who used to be a bishop for the police was sacked. He raped Piniadi. This is a psychopath. Now, what worries me about this psychopath issue, then they say the Methodist Church, they have come to accept say almost some for the I'm being honest with you. You know why? Because religion is very, very tricky, very, very sensitive when you come to Ghana. And this is not the first time a psychopath has been given a cassock. And but I know this guy. This guy is a psychopath. This guy is mentally not stable. But the way the Church of Methodists is quiet on this foolish man's actions, it worries me because then it is beginning to look like they are happy about the acts. They are happy about the way this man is dragging the name of Methodist Church in the mud. Because when the church sits behind and consistently a pastor turns his puppet into a campaign platform, you need to understand and say it dents the image of the church. Now, as I speak to you, so we are Methodist, so that's how you anymore baby. He's one of them. That is what people are going to say. So ask yourself, why is the Methodist Church itself not reacting to this? Why haven't they released a statement? Because if this guy had said something, I know said they would have come out and say one of our bishops has done something so good to the point whereby we need to release a statement to applaud him and let people know the Methodist Church is the church where we groom intelligent, Christians who can spread the gospel. Now, consistently, when a rapist is given a cassock, when a mental deranged individual is given a cassock in the name of religion, and nobody from the Methodist Church is acting or reacting or making sure the right things are done, then the Methodist Church itself is a it's a mental institution, with all due respect. And I know people in the Methodist Church, I respect them. But when the leadership sees this as normal, then the leadership equally are as crazy as the madman in the church. Because a bro bako and ankatia bako is saying katia 100,000. So if the church itself does not see anything, if the church does not see anything wrong with the actions of this man, and the funny thing is, if this was his first time speaking against one particular party, and if this was his first time deliberately lying, you see, the issue is his position is supposed to be a position that at the end of the day is a neutral position that speaks on the truth, irrespective of who is the leader. I don't have a problem when a man of God or a bishop decide to speak on politics or how the country is being governed. But the person should be a person, if he decides to do that, whether in the name of Methodist, in the name of bishop, that person should be very, very neutral about it. And also that person should be very, trying to find this word. That person should be cunning about it. This guy has consistently used the platform to do politics, and the funny thing is, he has done foot soldier politics. Nobody is telling every pastor to support NDC, and nobody is telling every pastor not to say anything against the NDC. But we expect you to use the same voice to criticize. The same questions these people have been asking, they have the questions in front of them. Why are they not answering the questions? And these are some of the things this guy has been doing. He's a psychopath. It's a rapist. This guy everybody knows. Now see this. Show me the evidence of any corruption under Ekufuado, Bishop Bosomtwe. This is 2024. No sane man will be an ask this question. Me say nipa nyanseni bia na adwene adwuma only mental problem will never ask this question. We can give you a whole volume, a whole book, 200-page book of corruption and the Ekufuado. The corruption and the Ekufuado being Ghana history muda. But you see, even still in 2021, this fool who calls himself a pastor, representing a bigger international, well-respected church like the Methodist, use the puppet of the Methodists to do dirty politics. And the Ura Methodists are sorry them. Now catch and say, Obinka corruption and the Kufuara, you get almost 80% of the congregation getting up to tell you the nonsense under this government. The corruption. Akura within 9 years, the nonsense, the corruption under this government. So this guy is not a pastor. I'm not addressing him as a bishop. I'm addressing him as an anchorful patient. I know how I address pastors and bishops who are intelligent enough to know that the position they have been given is not a position to play party politics with. So as I speak from here, I am not addressing this psychopath. I'm not addressing this mental deranged individual as a pastor. If he's a man of God, I will address him as a man of God. I'm addressing an anchorful candidate who has, at the end of the day, exposed his madness. So I don't see this guy as a pastor. It's an anchorful candidate. Now see this. Mahama has plans to cancel free SHS. He said it's 2022. This guy is mentally not stable, and he makes the leadership of the Methodist Church all unstable until they come out with a statement about this guy and his political statements. So I am not seeing this guy as a bishop. The Methodist Church might see him, but I see him as an anchorful candidate, a psychopath, a mentally deranged individual who is looking for stableness. So he is still dancing around. He's not different from some of the madmen we see at Kantamanto, Kotokraba. He's not different. But what hurts me is the church, the Methodist Church itself, has failed to disassociate themselves from a mentally deranged individual who continuously and consistently use the pulpit and use the cassock and the name of Methodist to drag the image of Methodist down. That's my problem. Unless they are also in support of the madness we are seeing. So this anchorful patient can never lead anybody to Christ. Christ does not allow mad people to follow him. Every man or woman who follows Christ has been born again. All the madness has been washed away, and mad people never follow the Lord. But this guy's actions consistently has proven that this man, psychologically, he needs help. One day he'll be standing in front of so-called congregation, he'll open his dick out and say, come and suck my dick. This guy is crazy. This person cannot lead anybody to Christ. Christ does not need these kind of mentally retarded individuals. Now, this is what he wrote. All these things you are seeing, somebody should have been like, oh, we're a politician. And these kind of statements are supposed to come from John Buedu, Chemaun to me. But this is a Methodist bishop. So my worry is with the church. Why is the church quiet? You have seen that this one is mad. This one has rabies. Why are you still keeping it among humans? The flock. Jesus is the shepherd. We the flock. When we see one has rabies, we need to give it out. We have seen the one with the rabies who is walking among the flock. This guy's got rabies. We are the sheep. Why are you making a rabies-infested sheep walk with thee, the children of God? It's very sad. I expect to hear these things from politicians, and then you go after them and say, hey, but says he's a man of God, and what hurts me is Methodist. Everybody's quiet. The same madness that madman Reverend Marty, very crazy man. Let me tell you people. There was a before we told you this. You people think say the moment you take up this position, so you're when you play careless with God, he will make you crazy. By you yourself, you will not know. So there are some people who, out of greed, out of some kind of selfishness, out of some kind of I want to belong, They went into this kind of thing called, I want to be a pastor, I want to be a bishop. If you don't take care, because God in his own wisdom is a very clean God. When you try to use your brains and use the word of God to capitalize and try to use that to play man, God will make you mad. And he's a God that is patient about injecting you with madness. And you yourself, you might not see it, but the flock, the sheep, we see that we have one with rabies amongst us. And go to Abuasi and go to every place that he has been or transferred to. They will tell you, we are Bodam by Yentuminka. He is mentally deranged. Now see this. The future is bright, and Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he scored A in the first term. Bishop Bosomche Ayensu. In Akufo-Addo's first term, we had PDS, we had Ameri, we had I can't even mention them. All this, he did not see anything wrong with it. This is a dog. He does not represent God. It pains me, hurts my heart, because I'm a child of God, and I wouldn't make a madman discredit my God. How is somebody going to change? How is somebody who has backslided? How is somebody who does not know Christ go to Christ through such a mad dog? Because we are supposed to be the disciples. We should not be ashamed of the gospel. This is a man who saw nothing wrong in 4 years, saying that the Akufo-Addo has done more than everybody. But we all know we are humans, and we know the crime, the corruption under this guy. So it hurts me as a Christian when I see a fellow man pretending to be sane, who is insane. We Christians cannot help this person. We as Methodists cannot take him off his case. And we allow such deranged, mental, retarded psychopaths to take cassock and stand in the name of Methodists. I was expecting people in Methodists, the congregants, who say they are right and they believe in the Lord, to say this one has rabies, this one is infested, this one is an uncomfortable candidate. We cannot allow him to lead the flock. When the flock leader is mad, the whole congregants are mad. This is a Bodam bishop. Let's move forward. Now see, Abakumi Poha, Osasi say, tax the church and incur the wrath of God. Bodam Nikasa. Men tax the church, no. Me, I don't see him as a man of God. So please, people sitting somewhere and say, Kevin, he's a man of God. I'm sorry. If I see him as a man of God, I'll address him as a man of God. I see this guy as an uncomfortable candidate, pathetic, mentally deranged individual. So do not mix that. They are men of God, and they are bona fide criminals. They are people who are mentally not there. They are psychopaths. This guy says, tax the church and incur the wrath of God. They hide beneath God's name. They hide behind religion and threatens and scare the people. Who are you? You are sitting there and praising Akufo-Addo and saying that he is doing well by introducing e-levy. Mahama is saying that Akufo-Addo never promised to add taxes to Ghanaians, never promised to bring more hardship through taxes. So I want to be president, and that when I come or I become president, I will take those taxes off. You are defending Akufo-Addo taxes, but you are trying to tell us that we should not enforce taxes on churches. You are mentally not stable. You are uncomfortable candidate, a damn nawabo. I don't see you as a man of God. I don't. And I know men of God. Men of God don't act like madmen. Let's move forward. Mahama's government full of shallow thinkers. Bishop Ayensu or Bodam. Now see this.